Welcome back, you lovely faces, ladies and gents. So, we're going to take a look at a story now regarding OFCOM, the people who were regulating the internet and trying to censor it because they're just too afraid of being called names on the internet, which is absolutely just bizarre. And the people who are in power at this moment in time, the ones who are enforcing this, they're the type of people who would never have survived a Call of Duty lobby back in 2010, 2011, when it was at its height for everything that was being said to each other. But with this one, it is regarding the Online Safety Act and how OFCOM, they are going to be summoned to the US courts. So according to the Telegraph, lawyers in the US are intending to summon the UK telecommunications regulator OFCOM to a US court to answer over its attempts to censor Americans. A legal complaint filed in Washington, D.C. by Ron Coleman, a New York-based lawyer, aims to bar OFCOM from attempting to enforce the Online Safety Act in America. Mr. Coleman said that British and European laws designed to police the internet must be absolutely destroyed. The next step in the case is to serve OFCOM with a summons to appear in the US court to answer accusations that it failed to properly notify two internet companies of their responsibilities and that it has taken on a political role. On information and belief, OFCOM targeted plaintiffs not as part of a neutral enforcement activity, but for overtly political reasons, aimed at undermining the First Amendment in the United States, intimidating Americans in the free exercise of their constitutional rights, and crippling the American internet sector. That's what the complaint is going. And as you can see, this is one thing I don't agree with, is what they've put by here. This follows OFCOM's letter to 4chan, which was met with a very MAGA-style response by law from the Burning Storm telling OFCOM where to stick it, so to speak. But the thing is, though, the way they did it is how it should be done, and it was very respectfully. Mostly because I have used this analogy now in quite a few videos, and when I've told people online this analogy regarding the Online Safety Act and how they think they can enforce it worldwide is, you go into America, you gotta be over 21 to drink alcohol. That's then an 18-year-old from the UK goes over there, goes in a bar or a pub and says, "I'd like a beer, please." "Are you 21? "No, I'm 18, but in the UK, 18 is a legal age, so give me my beer." "No, sorry sir, you're not allowed because you're under the age." "No, in my country I'm allowed, so you serve me." That's what this is. This is how dumb this entire thing is. And it's just interesting to see that how this website is going on and saying right by here, that we are very skeptical of the way the Online Safety Act and specifically age verification components are being implemented. We do see some merit in the US company seeking to protect itself in its own jurisdiction from fines imposed by a foreign government regulator. We very much doubt OFCOM fines will be enforced in many other countries either. Exactly. So when you see that literally all these companies are like, you know what? The Online Safety Act, it's a good idea in theory. That's what it is. It's a good idea. But the way that the the way the Conservatives and the Labour and all the other people here in the UK, how the government have gone for it, it's literally like, oh, I think we need to censor everything, but we can't have anyone looking at this. But the problem is, and we covered this in the past video, the BBC, they did an investigation into OFCOM and also the Online Safety Act, and they found that actual, factual news stories were being hidden by the Online Safety Act because social media, Google, all these other places, they're burying the stuff because they're like, oh, we don't want to be fined, which is absolute nonsense. Especially how they were like, oh, if anyone breaks the Online Safety Act, we're going to charge you and we're going to give you fines. The fine could be 10% of your annual global, not just, in your country, but global revenue. Say Apple failed it. 10% of their global revenue. That's billions of dollars. That is absolutely insane, and it's one of the worst things that they could have done. When this did come into Parliament to be put through, which was July 2023, at that time, you had so many people going, oh yes, this is amazing. But then you had some people on all sides go, we need to implement more in this. And we do have a video coming out regarding of what the Online Safety Act, it should be, and how some of the things are going well for it. But obviously there's some aspects of it which it will cause and draw so much controversy. Just because people now, they can't see what their friends are posting online because you need to age verification. And with that, it's either take a photo of your face and they can determine how old you are. You also got driver's license. Oh, I need your driver's license just to show me where you live. Or your passport or bank details. Because if it's a credit card company, oh, you have to be over the age of 18 to have one of them in the UK anyway. It's nonsense, it really is. But seeing how OFCOM and the government are trying to implement all of this worldwide, it is not going to happen. Like, as you can see right by here now, if you just go back over to it. The UK government, they requested Apple to have backdoors into the encryption for all their advanced data protection, and Apple went no, and the UK government backed down. This is what needs to happen. All these companies and everything else around the world, they do need just to face this head on and say, no, sorry, we're not in your country. Your laws do not abide to us in our country, which it doesn't. And I think that when I see this as well, it really makes me giggle, because seeing how the people who are in charge of the UK at the moment and just how spineless they are, how the hell did we rule the world? How? You know, we've gone from ruling the world to basically being a laughingstock of a country. And it's sad to see, but we are seeing so many other countries now starting to turn out like the UK. At the bottom, if this situation continues to escalate, it will eventually mean 4chan may end up being blocked by major broadband providers at the behest of OFCOM. Yeah, they're going to censor the internet. Well, you're not allowed to look at this website. That's what they're going to try and do. And as it says by there, 4chan may in turn encourage its users to subscribe to a VPN service instead. Yeah, do it. I use a VPN. It's one of the best things you can use. It really can. Again, a lot of people have been using VPNs for like America, Netflix, Canadian Netflix, South America, or Spanish or France, you know, all the other countries around the world. But with this now, seeing how the OFCOM are basically saying, you can't look at anything if I think it's wrong. Yeah. The people on the board for OFCOM in my eyes are nothing but a bunch of little babies. And they're probably the type of people that, if you call them a muppet, I'm gonna call the police on you. You can't call me a muppet. Yeah, but you are. You're Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. That's what it is. And this is not gonna go away. I really do think that the Online Safety Act is a good thing, but it needs to be revised, needs to be reappealed, and it needs to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb. It really does. There's some things in it which are just like, no, you can't enforce this. And sadly, there's a lot of people in the UK who will just see this and they will just follow it because they are sheep. But let us know what you think about this down below, folks. It's absolutely interesting as hell to see it. And if you are new to the channel, like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.